I read this book a while back. I have no idea what it was called. I have no idea who wrote it or what the hell was going on, but it affected me, and I had no idea at the time. So this guy, this guy went through life, and he led a normal life, and it was this normal, boring guy life, and he catches a disease when he's like in his 70s, and he dies. The problem is after he dies, he comes back. But he's born as the same person to the same parents, and through experimentation, and he remembers most of the stuff that happened, and he remembers, and he tries to experiment. He ends up getting all depressed about it, ends up killing himself, but he just comes back. He ends up going through all this rigmarole. And he comes back and lives the same life over and over again, but he does remember things. For example, he learned German. He learned some language, I think it was German, and then the next time he comes back around, he can still speak and read German as well as he did before, that kind of crap. So he can remember a lot of things from one life to the next. Then he finds out that there's this whole society of people who could do this. And there's the one way to kill people, to really end people who would do this. You kill their parents before they have the kid. So he was fortunate. Well, anyway, that's about the book. The thought of going back and having to live my childhood over again. I didn't have a bad childhood. I had a pretty decent childhood. No way. You know, I don't want to go back and live without cable television or without cell phones or internet. I think about, I have Google to go to now for answers on just about anything I want, and I've really, really gotten used to that. It would drive me up batshit not to have access to something like that. Not to have information at my fingertips just whenever I wanted it. I have to go through the 70s again, where you had to go research things. You had to go to the almost to the hospital. You had to go to the library and learn things. You had to learn things. You actually had to read things at school, and had to go through dittos. I don't know if you're familiar with what dittos were. See, I'm legally blind, so they had these blue ditto copies where they would use a ditto machine, and it would make a copy. Every time you turn the crank, a copy would spin off of this paper original, and you would type it. It would come out looking backwards, and then you would run it through the ditto machine. It would make a blue copy. The shitty, hard, impossible for me to read blue copy. And to this day, blue is my enemy because I cannot see the color blue with a damn. Never have been able to. Blue always looks yellow or green to me. It's the other cells fire in my head instead of blue. I can barely see blue without a really bright light shining on it. And going through school, not only did I have a hard time reading black text, normal book black text with a magnifying glass, but then it would come up with this really faint blue, blurry image on paper. So, I'm looking at this whole concept of me having to go back and be this legally blind kid all over again and having to go through that again. I'm like, oh my God, that thought is just depressing. I've caught myself praying, like, Lord, please don't let that be the way it is. That would be the most depressing thing ever, is if this was the first time around and I had to go back through it again. Because I don't think I could do this good a job again. I mean, I've got a job now. I can pay. I'm trying to pay for a car, trying to pay for a house, and it's like, I mean, even if I took all the information I have now back then, the only thing, other than investments, I would know to invest in Apple computer. Just dump everything into Apple computer and just stand on it until 2015 or whatever, and sell it all. But I don't know. Other than simple investment stuff like that, I don't know what I would take back with me that would possibly do me any good to bet on or something. I don't know. I don't remember. The third time around, you'd memorize sports almanacs, right? But crap like that, I don't know. The thought of having to do it all over again is just way too depressing. I can't fathom having to do all this again. So, I'm glad it's a fictional book. I'm glad that's not not what religion dictates. Oh yeah, you get to do it all over again next time. It's just, I don't want to go back 10 minutes and have to deal with the last 10 minutes over again.